Which Georgia Bulldog targets are going to be in town this upcoming weekend for an official visit? That's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Plenty of big-time targets. Once again, back in Athens, multiple 5-stars. Another big recruiting weekend for the Dogs, hoping to end the month of June on a big note. They've got a real opportunity to possibly take the lead and gain a lot of ground for, again, some of the top prospects in the country who are going to be in town this weekend. So let's just jump right into it right now. The first guy I want to talk about, 5-star offensive lineman Brandon Baker out of Mater Dei High School in California. He's the #1 offensive tackle prospect in the country, number 21 overall prospect in the 2024 class. Now, he's familiar with Athens already. He took in the Georgia-Tennessee game last fall, so he knows what a big-time electric atmosphere is inside Sanford Stadium. He saw that beatdown that Georgia gave Tennessee in the rain. Big time experience for him. He was back in town, again in mid-April, just to check out Athens again. And that's, I believe, when he said, you know what, I'm going to take an official visit to Georgia, check them out. Now, he has seen Oregon and USC a ton. I don't know if he is going to schedule an official visit to either one of those schools. He's already been to Texas and Ohio State for an official visit, but Georgia, my opinion, has to be out USC and Oregon for him. My best guess is that he stays on the West Coast. I think most people think Oregon is the team to beat right now, but I think Georgia has a real opportunity to show him that he can come in and play early and possibly be the next first-round pick at offensive tackle at the University of Georgia. So that's a big-time visit. We'll see if Georgia gains any ground there. Justin Williams, 5-star linebacker, #1 linebacker in America out of Oak Ridge High School in Texas. He's going to be in town this weekend. He was in Athens late last month, late May, April, May, June. Yeah, so it was late May for the scavenger hunt weekend, and he decided, you know what, I've had such a great time. I want to come back for an official visit. It's going to be this weekend. 6'2", 205, 6'5", wingspan. He is long. He is athletic like Sammy Brown. He is a dominant track and field guy. Ran an electronic 4.44 in the 40-yard dash at 6'2", 205. And he's still in high school. This kid is only going to get better. A lot of people think he is a heavy lean to Oregon right now. I think they took one true middle linebacker in last year's class. They don't have any committed at Oregon right now at his position. So they are showing him that, hey, you can come here, play early, and play as a freshman. You are that good. And again, they need desperately linebackers like him to come in. So I think playing time is a big factor here. But he likes Georgia. I know that for a fact, but Georgia took 3 at his position in last year's class that are really, really good. I have said that multiple times right now. Raylan Wilson is a dog. C.J. Allen, dog. Troy Bowles, dog. I don't know if you've seen that video that went viral, I guess, a couple years ago, but those are dogs. So Justin Williams is, you can see early playing time at Oregon. I think that's the team that Georgia clearly has to beat. He's going to be in town with his teammate, who I think Georgia leads for, Joseph Jonah Ajanya. Spoke with him on the phone last week for about 10 minutes. There's a story over on Dawg Post right now, so make sure you read it. He said a lot of good things about Georgia. That's his dream school. He said, I started playing football. My first year was a freshman in high school. As soon as I started learning about defense and watching college football, Georgia was the first school to pop in my mind. And for the last 3 years, I guess, he said, that's where I want to go to school. That's my dream school. He was in town for the scavenger hunt weekend late last month as well with his teammate, Justin Williams. He spoke to me about what it would mean to play with Justin Williams at the next level. He said, I think the Georgia system, the scheme they have on defense fits both of us, but he's 6'4", 270, versatile, big time target for Trey Scott. Now, Oklahoma was a team that was linked to him early in the process. He took an official visit to Oklahoma this past weekend, but I still think Georgia is the team to beat here. And he's going to be in town for an official visit. I think Georgia could seal the deal with this kid. He's the #8 defensive line prospect in the country, number 47 overall. This is a top 50 player in the country, and I think Georgia has the lead for him right now behind the scenes. I think they could take a big-time lead if this weekend goes successfully. Now, he told me that there's a specific day that he wants to make a commitment, but I got to get y'all over to Dawg Post. Read that story that I have. A lot more information on this kid over on the website. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter, pick out Double Dogs, all that good stuff. The link is down below. We've been popping out content, again, all week long, just typing away. So if you're subscribed to the newsletter, make sure you are. And if your friend isn't, make sure your friend is so they don't miss any of this content. But for his commitment date, go over to Dawg Post, read that. But it wouldn't necessarily surprise me if he decided to make a commitment next week if all goes according to plan on his official visit. Now, a defensive back to know, Charles Lester, one of the best cornerback prospects in the country, out of Venice High School in Florida. The Seminoles have been the team trending here for a while. Deion Sanders in Colorado are in the mix, but this kid knows all about Georgia. He's been on campus multiple times. He's already taken his official visits to Alabama, Colorado, Florida State, and this last one was to Georgia. So they have a real opportunity to gain a lot of ground because I think they have plenty of ground to make up here. But yeah, number 3 cornerback in America, number 23 overall prospect in the country. This is a big, big deal. 6'2", 170 pounds, was in Athens both in March and April. So he's very familiar with the program. Georgia has 2 cornerbacks already committed. Ellis Robinson, 5-star, top 10 player in the country, the number 1 cornerback in America. He's committed. And I think DeMello Jones is more of a cornerback. I know he might get a look at safety or the star position, big-time athlete, playmaker out of Swainsboro High School. But I'm going to put him at cornerback too. But Charles Lester, I think the staff would love to bring on board, but they got some ground to make up. So we'll see if this weekend goes well, and we'll see if Georgia can make up some ground here. If they do, he becomes a team to keep an eye on. But right now, I think it's Florida State, and then I think Georgia's probably pushing Alabama and Colorado for that number 2 spot. Now, another in-state, well, actually, the first in-state guy that I'm talking about in this video, C.J. Jackson, was at Parkview as a sophomore, played at Tucker last year. His recruitment blew up like mid-November. You don't really see that a ton. Usually these guys wrap up their seasons, they get their huddle, their highlights out to college coaches, and then they start getting offers in January, February, March, and so on. This kid blew up in November. That's how good he was. He was attacking the quarterback left and right. Looks like Leonard Floyd out there, long, athletic, 6'4", 220 pounds, just swatting away offensive tackles left and right last year. I mean, he looked unblockable at times. I think Georgia and LSU were the 2 teams out in front for him. But I've been told on more than one occasion that he is a big Georgia target. They would love to have him on board. Now, they did take 3 at his position in last year's class. Sam Pimba, Damon Wilson, Gabe Harris, 3 guys who are going to see the field sooner than later. So, yeah, if you're an edge defender / hybrid outside linebacker type like C.J. Jackson is, you look at Georgia and you say, I can go there and develop and play eventually, but I'm not going to play early. And a lot of these kids want to play early. I do think he could play earlier at a place like LSU, but Georgia's going to push for this kid. They like him a lot, and this is a big weekend for them to set him and his family down and say, hey, we could turn you into possibly the next Leonard Floyd, the big-time pass rusher type. I think that's what he reminds me of, or who he reminds me of when I turn on the tape. But explosive off the ball. He's in the backfield so quick. I mean, he can chase down the running back, get after the quarterback. He's a sure tackler and just consistently makes plays behind the line of scrimmage. Easily one of the top pass rushers across not only Georgia, but across the South in the 2024 class. So this is a big-time visit. Georgia could take the lead here in his recruitment if everything goes according to plan. Wouldn't surprise me if he took or made a commitment in July. Maybe he wants to take visits in the fall. I still need to get with him for the latest on that, but he's definitely an in-state pass rusher to keep an eye on this weekend. So those are the 5 big guys that I think Georgia fans need to keep a close eye on. Now, these are not the only official visitors in town. If you want to read about all of them, you got to go to Dawg Post. The whole point is to, inform y'all, make y'all smarter Georgia fans on YouTube, but we want to get you to the site. That's where most of our work is done. Talking is cool, but we write out a lot of stuff, and it's easy to give, details when I'm typing because I've got my notes in front of me. Sometimes I overlook things during these 10-minute monologues. So if you want the latest and greatest Georgia Bulldog information, both related to the team and related to recruiting, where I do, a lot of my work. I'm the recruiting guy over there at Dawg Post, and I hope every time I make a video, y'all learn something. I, really appreciate y'all watching. But if you enjoy these videos that Dean and I make, make sure you're going to Dawg Post and reading the content that we have, because there's been a lot. Big news this morning that we were on top of, Dylan Raiola transferring to Buford. We had that story ready, quite a while. We're just waiting on that news to break, and it did, and we were on top of it. A lot of other stuff too going on, so make sure you head over to Dawg Post. Again, sign up to the newsletter. You will not regret it. You get an email every day, every single day, with all the content that we've been putting out. So you don't want to miss it. The season is quickly approaching. We're getting our high school football schedule ready. We're going to be seeing Dylan Raiola a ton. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel in the fall for the latest on team news, but plenty of Dylan Raiola highlights now that he's right down the street from me, basically at Buford. So really appreciate y'all watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now, and I hope to see you over on Dawg Post.